Good morning, cadets. Welcome back to our Star Trek Resurgence playthrough. Where we last left off, we are back with our crew from the lower decks, and that's a nice shot of that nacelle over there. And yeah, we're upside down actually, because we see the Miranda over there, but it's a bit upside down. So this is really trippy.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive machine.
Maybe someday, command of my own.
Yeah, of course I do. Starfleet's an open door. We just have to walk through it. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be.
Hopefully she liked that.
Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the Sif emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Alright. Also, managed to see some of that beautiful Excelsior in the background as well. Calibration tool. Right, so that's the only thing.
Beginning recalibration.
Alright, tune nodes to center the circular indicators.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
You sure? That wasn't exactly centered.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
Well, see, he's kinda full of himself, but alright, I'm gonna say that's impressive.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
So that's what the ring is for.
You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
Thank you for your concern.
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew, and he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
Well, I don't want to feel his shoes.
think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
Whoa. Okay. Everything's beeping red. That's not great.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Okay.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy, like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities all over the ship.
Estimated time to impact, 2 minutes.
I mean, one option. Red alert.
Red alert.
Aye.
But
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact, 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
of course, it's pretty usual.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Shields.
Bedrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my command.
Nice.
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
Will it be enough to protect our guys, though?
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
No. Okay.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
That can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Right. So there's gonna be a walk. Ah, okay.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Okay, here goes another minigame.
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Alright. Interlock 1. And then second one.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Okay, on it. Give me that. Not exactly a minigame like the one with the transporter, but sure.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Is that a good... Okay. Right, before we advance, I know I'm gonna pause it in a weird moment. So we have these two characters, Bedrosian and Commander. I did notice that the color was gray, so I'm right about the colors. If it's green, it's a bit more towards the positive. If it's gray, it's like neutral. Because I see Commander Westbrook was left with mixed feelings about Jara's suitability as the new first officer after they first met on the bridge. He was disappointed she chose not to heed his recommendation to use the deflector pulse. I mean, come on guys, every time deflector pulse. Let's try something else. I'll just deflect. And then Lieutenant Bedrosian was thrilled Jara followed her advice and chose to raise the shield. So if I get the red one, then it's gonna be a bit negative. This Edilsar felt buoyed by Carter's optimism during the hull walk. Okay. Rifle, aim, and fire. Hopefully that was a good idea.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
So I need to stay with the phaser up. Okay. You got the right side? Can I get the left? Ow!
Are you alright?
Yeah. Suit took most of it. Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%.
Okay, so I guess don't get hit. And I am on the timer. Hey, this ain't no doom, but it feels acceptable. We're also...
Carter!
That hurt.
Do not get hit again.
I'm trying.
We're almost to the regulator.
Come on. But yeah, we're on the in space. Makes sense that we're gonna be a bit more slower.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
Okay,
Now
got me
halting
covered.
the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
We'll do. Or there's no try. We'll do. On it. Come on. There we go.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
All right. So that's
The EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance.
more or less.
Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chobot can...
Okay, the starbase is getting hit. Ah no, these are the docking clamps. Ah, don't scratch the paint.
Get down!
That went
Here's
really
the
quick.
bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. Hull vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
But
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
Our crew is out there.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We have
safest way to...
people on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse
Okay.
the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order.
Ah,
Jara?
it's not that simple.
All due respect, sir, it's a more complex situation than when you
Jara,
disembarked.
I need you to do the right thing. We can't have this go sideways before we even leave for the mission.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Okay, no. Reverse polarity. I'm gonna trust him.
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, the captain did not like that.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6,
Uh,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
Plasma
wonderful.
imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Now we have to pull it back. Come on. No. Come on. Don't get stuck now. All these workout at the gym. Come on. Ooh. Okay, teamwork.
Look out!
No. Ow. Okay, is this suit alright?
Petty Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
Oh, wonderful.
Roger that. Going there now.
So I'm just gonna carry her. Right, I know it's a moment, intense moment, but let's see what happened. Captain Solano was furious. Jara defied his orders, did not blow the bolts on the docking clamps as he instructed her to do. Alright, Lieutenant Bedrosian admired Jara's instinct to protect the crew when Starbase ordered her to disengage the docking clamps. And she thought highly of Jara's efforts to explain the complexity of the situation to Captain Solano. And she was relieved when Jara defied Captain Solano's orders and made her own command decision in the moment. And Commander Westbrook respected Jara's inclination to protect the crew when Starbase ordered her to disengage the docking clamps, and he applauded Jara's efforts to explain the complexity of the situation to Captain Solano. Ultimately, he was thankful when Jara defied Captain Solano's order and made her own command decision in the moment. And then, yeah, so this is basically, it's kind of the same thing, but a bit worded differently, so it's not copy-paste. Respected Jara's rational approach when she defied Captain Solano, right? But the commander is like neutral. The engineering commander. Lieutenant Commander Chovak did not approve of Jara's unwillingness to follow protocol when she defied Captain Solano's orders to blow the bolts from the docking clamps. Thing is, it was neutral. So it's not exactly negative. Alright, back to it. I guess we kinda need to read the aftermath of the decisions. I thought he's gonna write a big list and I'm just gonna have to scroll. But no.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
Okay.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
No way, you first. Shut up.
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
Okay, no effect on the decision there. Interesting. Ow. Okay, that shows the decision.
We made it.
But just got hit in the face by...
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
So what about Carter?
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off. Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good. You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Alright, time to face the music.
You disobeyed my orders. Well?
I mean, it was the right decision.
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the
You
information I had.
disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Sorry, but you didn't have the facts.
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew.
Eugh.
Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to, you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for the understanding.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
All right. Was that another chapter? Only that conversation?
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Time for warp.
Should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me?
Engage.
Engage.
Simple, but effective.
Oh, come on, don't call Picard simple. Right, okay, I can pause now and all that. Alrighty then, so Captain Solano's fury over having his orders defied was compounded by Jara's continued rebellious attitude and stubborn opposition to his leadership, leaving him questioning his choice of first officer. Oh, interesting. So we're really at odds with the captain right from the start. Hey, but the crew loves us, the rest of the crew. And what about Carter? Edelsar was grateful when Carter put her safety ahead of his own out on the hull. Well, let's hope we can recover from that. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it here for this episode. And I wonder if that previous chapter that we only had the conversation was just like an interlude chapter, because that was way short. Like we had what, quick conversation and all that. At the Storm Surge, I believe was the chapter called, when we had to walk and fire phasers and all that. It was a bit more on the longer side. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here for this episode and continue next time. So far, I enjoy it. Kind of feels like a Star Trek game. Like I'm really there. Like I'm watching a series, an episode of a show. So yeah, hopefully enjoy this part, guys. But as always, don't forget to take care.